Welcome everyone. Today we are thrilled to introduce the latest iteration of the iconic Model R. These three beauties are finished in our signature vibrant orange.
We've waited years for this moment, and today that wait finally ends with the arrival of the all-new 2026 Harley-Davidson Model R. No one expected what Harley-Davidson was about to unleash, because the instant the Model R rolled into the light, every assumption the motorcycle world had about American performance shattered instantly. This isn't a mild upgrade or a simple redesign. This is Harley slamming both fists onto the table and declaring, without hesitation, that a new era has begun. The shockwave this machine sent through the industry is real, because Harley didn't build the Model R to stay safe in its traditional lane. They built it to dominate every lane at once. Journalists who've ridden it all return with the same expression, a mix of awe and obsession. And by the time this story reaches its end, you'll understand exactly why. The Model R isn't just a motorcycle. It's a creature that feels alive from the moment you touch the throttle. The first time I twisted it, the bike didn't politely ask to move. It commanded movement. It lunged like a steel animal ripping out of a cage. A burst of torque so sudden and violent, it felt like the machine was breaking free from its own limits. Even before riding it, Harley's engineers warned, "This one is different," and they weren't exaggerating. You cannot prepare for a motorcycle that fuses the soul of American muscle with the precision of futuristic engineering. You can only react, you can only hold on, you can only surrender when it decides it's time to move. And this bike was forged from something deeper than innovation. Years ago, Harley was under pressure. Critics said the brand was outdated, fading, unable to compete with the high-performance machines sweeping the global market. Instead of arguing back, Harley answered with aggression, engineering, bold design, and a mission to build a new kind of machine, one that would silence every doubt. The Model R is the final punch in that evolution, the physical proof that the world underestimated what Harley was capable of. This machine does not feel like a Harley shaped by tradition. It feels like a Harley shaped by battle, as if every insult, every doubt, every criticism was melted down and reforged into an engine built out of defiance. I remember the first ride clearly. The road stretched ahead, empty, waiting, and the Model R idled beneath me like a predator coiled to strike. The exhaust didn't carry the familiar old-school Harley rumble. It was deeper, sharper, a tuned earthquake that hit directly in the chest, and the moment the clutch eased out and the throttle rolled forward, the bike didn't accelerate. It detonated. The torque hit instantly, slamming forward with a force that felt engineered to shock anyone who dared underestimate it. Harley claims the Revolution R engine delivers the strongest instant torque in its segment, and that claim is not marketing, it's truth. You don't measure this machine's power through numbers. You measure it by the way your pulse tries to sync with the engine's heartbeat. But here is where the Model R becomes deceptive. You expect instability, wild behavior, chaos, yet instead, it grips the road with surgical precision. The steering is tight and alive. Every tiny movement from your fingers becomes movement under the tires. The suspension doesn't merely absorb the road, it speaks to it, makes a pact with it, and you feel like you aren't riding over the asphalt. You're riding inside the asphalt. The new R chassis plays a huge role in this transformation. It's Harley's lightest and stiffest platform ever made. They didn't simply shave weight, they carved it. Every weld, every angle, every component feels like it was placed with the devotion of someone who treats balance and geometry as sacred principles. Once you settle into the aggressive seating position, the entire machine aligns with your body like a weapon forged exactly to your posture. Bars, pegs, tank, every element is designed for control, speed, and total dominance. The first hard lean answers a question you didn't even get to ask. You lean, and the machine commits immediately. The chassis locks in, the tires dig deep, and suddenly you're carving corners with confidence that borders on supernatural. Then came the moment that truly sealed the experience. While cruising at speed, a small indicator flashed on the instrument cluster. The variable power band was ready to switch. I toggled it, curious, and the bike transformed instantly. The throttle sharpened, the torque curve changed shape. The response became almost predictive, like the machine was thinking half a second ahead. Harley didn't build a motorcycle with one personality. They built a shapeshifter, one that can cruise calmly, sprint aggressively, dominate any road, or unleash havoc depending on your mood. It's the most advanced performance mapping system Harley has ever engineered, and the feeling of the bike rewiring itself in real time is unlike anything in the category. But there was one moment that made me laugh inside my helmet, the kind of laugh that comes from adrenaline hitting pure disbelief. I pulled up beside a rider on a sport bike, one of those Japanese machines known for humiliating cruisers at stoplights. He looked over, smirked, and revved. A silent challenge. I twisted the throttle just enough to respond, and when the light turned green, the Model R didn't glide forward. It launched. A controlled explosion of torque, a perfectly engineered blast that rocketed it ahead so quickly that I watched the other rider's head snap back in surprise. In seconds, he was behind me and staying behind me. This was the first time in years I had seen a Harley built not just to compete with performance bikes, but to beat them. This is a statement machine, not built for nostalgia, not built for tradition, but built for evolution. A declaration that Harley can make history, but can also build the future. And visually, the Model R is a modern war machine. The LED front cluster stares forward like a pair of furious eyes. The sculpted tank looks like polished obsidian carved into shape. Angular lines, exposed mechanical sinew, aerodynamic shaping. Every inch of the motorcycle looks like it was designed to intimidate. Even the exhaust looks less like an exhaust and more like a weapon ripped off a futuristic drag bike. Harley didn't choose paint colors. They chose attitudes. Liquid black armor, blood red veins, titanium gray steel. Every surface is built to make one message clear. This motorcycle wasn't built to blend in. It was built to conquer. And then the tech changes everything. The Model R's AR display is revolutionary. Overlaying navigation, lean angle, torque distribution, performance data, and even danger alerts in a transparent HUD that feels straight out of a fighter jet. Once you ride with it, going back to a traditional display feels primitive. The adaptive ride modes, predictive traction logic, and perfectly tuned braking system make stopping feel like dropping an anchor controlled by a computer. And even with all this aggression, the Model R brings comfort in places no one expected. The seat is sculpted for long-distance stability. The adaptive suspension adjusts automatically. Cruising mode softens the response at highway speeds, turning the bike into a rolling thunderbolt that feels impossibly stable. It's like Harley built three machines, the Sprinter, the Fighter, and the Cruiser, and merged them into one. But the question every rider truly wants answered is simple. What does the Model R feel like emotionally? What does it do to you? And the truth is this: some bikes you ride, some bikes you use, some bikes you appreciate. But the Model R is different. You don't just ride it, you connect to it. It awakens something primal, something electric, something alive. It sharpens your senses. It forces your adrenaline forward. It makes the road feel like a battlefield and the machine like a living extension of your instinct. The 2026 Harley-Davidson Model R is more than a motorcycle. It is a message, a declaration, a turning point. It proves that Harley hasn't just rebuilt its legacy, they've redesigned their future.